If you're becoming the kind of woman who values grace, mystery, and self-respect, this channel is for you. Subscribe for more feminine self-improvement, elegance, and glow-up content. There is something unforgettable about an elegant woman, not because she is the loudest in the room, not because she begs to be noticed, and definitely not because she is trying too hard. In fact, it's usually the opposite. She moves through the world with a kind of quiet power, a softness that somehow feels stronger than noise, a presence that doesn't scream for attention, yet somehow steals it anyway. And that is exactly why elegant women are so alluring. Because in a world that rewards oversharing, rushing, and constant performance, the elegant woman feels rare. She feels like a secret. There's something almost magnetic about a woman who doesn't reveal everything at once, a woman who doesn't need to explain herself in every moment, a woman who lets her energy speak before her words ever do. That mystery is intoxicating. And the truth is, elegance has never just been about expensive clothes or polished hair. Elegance is an energy. It's the way she enters a room without disturbing it. It's the way she can be noticed without needing to demand it. It's the way she makes people curious because she leaves space. Space for wonder, space for imagination, space for people to lean in. And that is one of the biggest reasons elegant women are so alluring. They don't overexpose themselves. An elegant woman understands that not everything needs to be said, not every thought needs to be posted, not every emotion needs to be displayed publicly, not every part of her life is available for consumption. She knows the power of privacy, and privacy, in today's world, is seductive. When everyone is rushing to reveal everything, the woman who keeps certain things sacred becomes unforgettable. Because mystery is born where access is limited. People are naturally drawn to what they cannot immediately figure out, not because she is playing games, but because she values herself enough to be deeply intentional about what she shares. She is not closed off, she is curated, and that distinction changes everything. Elegant women are also alluring because they are deeply present. They are not frantic. They are not constantly chasing validation. They are not performing every second of their lives for approval. There is a calmness about them, a slowness, a grace. They sip their coffee instead of inhaling it. They walk with purpose instead of urgency. They listen fully instead of waiting for their turn to speak. And in a world addicted to chaos, that level of composure feels almost hypnotic. It makes people stop. It makes people watch. Because peace is powerful. There is something incredibly captivating about a woman who looks like she belongs to herself. A woman who is not emotionally leaking all over the room. A woman who doesn't seem desperate to be chosen. A woman who has mastered the art of self-containment. Not suppression, self-possession. That is elegance. And self-possession is deeply feminine and deeply dangerous in the best way. Because when a woman knows herself, she becomes harder to manipulate, harder to rush, harder to cheapen, and impossible to ignore. Another reason elegant women feel so mysterious is because they move with intention. Nothing feels random about them. The way they speak, the way they dress, the way they smile, the way they excuse themselves, the way they make eye contact, the way they pause before responding. Everything feels deliberate, and intention creates intrigue. When a woman is careless, people consume her quickly. But when a woman is intentional, people study her. They wonder about her. They replay the conversation later. They remember the perfume she wore, the way she crossed her legs, the way she smiled without overdoing it, the way she made them feel slightly seen but never fully entitled. That's the thing about elegance. It leaves an imprint. Not because it is flashy, but because it is refined. Elegant women also understand restraint, and restraint is one of the most underrated forms of power. She knows when to speak and when silence says more. She knows when to leave and when staying longer would diminish the moment. She knows that doing less can often make a stronger statement than doing more. She doesn't need to prove she's interesting. She doesn't need to dominate every room. She doesn't need to be the funniest, the sexiest, the wildest, or the most available, because she understands a truth many women are never taught. What is rare is remembered. What is overexposed is often overlooked. The elegant woman is alluring because she gives people an experience, not a performance. Being around her feels different. There is a softness, but also standards, warmth, but also boundaries, beauty, but also depth. She may be kind, but she is not easy to access. She may be warm, but she is not careless with her energy. She may be charming, but she is never trying to sell herself. And that balance creates tension, beautiful tension, the kind that makes people wonder, who is she really? And once that question is planted, they keep thinking about her. Elegant women are also mysterious because they are emotionally disciplined, not emotionless, disciplined. They feel deeply, but they express selectively. They don't explode over every inconvenience. They don't chase closure from people who disrespected them. They don't beg for explanations from people who made themselves unclear. They understand that composure is a form of luxury, and that is alluring because it communicates inner wealth. A woman who can regulate herself, protect her peace, and remain graceful under pressure gives off the impression that she has depth, that she has standards, that she has survived enough to know the value of stillness. And that kind of woman always feels a little mysterious, because you know there is more beneath the surface, a history, a mind, a discipline, a private world. And private worlds are captivating. So perhaps that's what makes elegant women so unforgettable. They remind us that not everything valuable is loud, not everything beautiful is obvious, not everything feminine is fragile, and not everything powerful needs to announce itself. An elegant woman can walk into a room in silence and somehow say everything. She tells you she values herself before she even opens her mouth. She tells you she understands quality over quantity. She tells you she is not in a rush to be understood by everyone. And that is rare. Because most people today are desperate to be seen. But the elegant woman, she focuses on being remembered. She is alluring because she is selective, mysterious because she is private, magnetic because she is composed, powerful because she is intentional. She is not trying to be a fantasy. She is simply a woman who has mastered the art of not of giving all of herself away. And maybe that is truly what makes her unforgettable. Not the dress, not the heels, not the pearls, not the polished hair. It's the energy, the quiet confidence, the emotional control, the graceful restraint, the depth behind her eyes, the feeling that there is always more to discover. She is not a book thrown open on the table. She is a novel with gold-edged pages left slightly closed, and everyone wants to know what's inside. So if you've ever wondered why elegant women seem so alluring, it's because elegance is not just beauty. It is mystery with standards, softness with boundaries, femininity with self-respect. And in a world that is constantly begging women to be louder, faster, easier, and more available, The elegant woman dares to be still, and that stillness is irresistible.